Um, well, as far as I know, and I could be wrong about this,
Okay.
but as far as I know, the baseline movement speed in Pee-wee 1 and 2 is the same.
You're goddamn right.
What's the tag? I'm taking all the move speed. I'm literally taking every move speed known in the skill tree. I'm just taking all the fucking move speed in the game. Hey guys, so today I want to go over my near full min max Lightning Arrow Deadeye League Starter. This is like to the min max now. It's 170% move speed. It is kind of glass cannon, but I played for 11 hours today and did not die once. So I think we have this much damage. Going glass cannon is actually kind of okay. But yeah, I want to go over the full character, the full build, everything about this, what I'm using in this character, and also some updates to the old builds as well. Once again, I have my full guide on mobilitics. I did a nice little sweep and fully updated all the builds here with, make sure that all have proper stats, and it's more info in the description, all that. I also added the Uber endgame. This is expensive with like Headhunter, 50% or 60% move speed boots, and the Giga attack speed gloves of the video I made like a few days ago. And of course, also has the 170% move speed variant. So yeah, everything is on mobilitics and it's all up to date, even the older versions as well. So do make sure to check this out and do make sure to, read all of it. If you have any questions, solve mana, what to get in your stats, skill tree, gem priority, link priority, all that. It's all on here for you to easily read, easily digest, and get your character to work. Yeah, let's go over this full character. This is the 170% move speed version. It is pretty much fully max. The only thing I'm missing at this point is a mirror bow, which is being made, and I might even have it by tomorrow or by the time this video comes out, but everything else is pretty GG'd. Quickly go over my gear. We have a Constricting Commander Viper Cap. I'll get this in a second. We are a Gemini Twin Bow with critical hit chance and +4 attacks. The crit hit is mandatory if you're playing a crit build. A GG Crit Quiver, almost all tier 1, 4 tier 1s and 2 tier 2s. A nice Magic Find, Spirit, and +3 Proj Amulet with global defense. And then double rarity with double flat rings. These are both pretty much the same. A Falconer's Jacket. I moved to a Falconer's Jacket for the movement speed with a really nice 16 Chaos Res Corrupted Implicit, which probably makes this almost impossible to replace. Also deflection on my chest and boots, and these are my only deflection sources. GG 3 socket, triple flat attack speed gloves for crit damage. You can also get ready here if you want. Like I said, I did make a video for these gloves a couple of days ago, and they are really insane. If you want to see how much damage they give me without this Nova support, yeah, they give me like 50k DPS, just absolutely insane for damage. You recommend making these as soon as you can. They do currently cost under 10 divines to make, although there is some RNG involved. Headhunter, this belt is just insane for mapping. It got buffed in midway through 0.2. It lasts for 60 seconds. I would not replace this for anything, even for the movement speed belt, because you often steal movement speed modifiers from monsters. You steal plus arrows, you steal damage, you get DR. It's overall just an insane mapping belt. Definitely best in slot. Do not replace this. It really is just that good. 60% movement speed boots. You can get 65%, but it is kind of hard. I probably will eventually go for it. But besides that, they are pretty GG. 4x tier 1 mods, tier 3 and tier 2. And yeah, for the charms, we have Aspect of the Cat. You can also get other spirits here. I think Stag and Wolf also get movement speed. What Cat does and why it's the best one, and also the most expensive one, as you can see here, being like 100 divines. Spirit of the Cat, when you kill a rare monster, you get this 20-second buff. So it's pretty much up the entire map time, because it's pretty easy to get 80 charges every 20 seconds, especially in juice maps. It's up like 100% of the time in the maps. But yeah, you get 60% increased evasion, 100% increased critical hit, 30% increased skill speed, and 15% increased movement speed. So yeah, this thing is absolutely insane, and it's why it's so expensive. You get damage, defense, and movement speed all in a single charm slot. Thorn Charm, so you're freeze immune, and then Fall of the Axe, Silver Charm. This makes you immune to slows, very nice on chilled ground maps. And during immune to slows, you also get Onslaught, and Onslaught grants you skill speed and 10% increased movement speed. Then there's regular Life Flask and Mana Flask. I actually don't even need a Mana Flask on this build. You also can use all lost resolves here as well. I probably will get it eventually. But yeah, that's my full character. That's my full setup. So let's go over the gems and also the full movement speed setup. So first thing, let's go to the full movement speed setup. So as you can see in my tree, we have effectively every single move speed node that you can actually get or realistically get. So we have Move speed here, 3%, 4% step like the mist, 4% and then 2%, 2% on the small node right here, another 3% from escape velocity, 3% from acceleration, 2%, right, both of them right here. And then we go up here on kill, we get 7%, 4 and 3. And then we get another 10% from being surrounded. And then every jewel we have 4 2% increased movement speed jewels. And then we also get a from nothing. So from nothing is this jewel right here. Allows you to allocate any passive within radius of a keystone with this jewel. Very, very strong. And from this, we get more movement speed. We get momentum, ignores all movement penalties from armor. This is like 7% increased movement speed for my build. This one node, pretty insane. Then 3% and 2%. And then also you get a nice node right here for some extra crit chance. So yeah, all in all, in a hideout, we are at 130% move speed. If I stack up Tailman real quick, we go to 148%. And then with on kill, and this is pretty much permanently up in mapping, so you're always killing stuff, you go to 155%. And then with the cat charm, you get extra 15%, giving you 170% move speed, pretty much, 100% uptime during mapping, very consistent. And on top of that, you're also on Roa, so you don't really get slowed while attacking. So you're pretty much just running at full speed for the entire map and insane movement speeds. And then past that, you also have Headhunter. I've seen my movement speed get up to 330% with a acceleration shrine. Without acceleration shrine, I've seen it get up to like 240 or 250% with Headhunter. So you can end up going extremely fast. And I can also get more movement speed if I want. We definitely can get Onslaught if I want to get up rarity or something. But yeah, as far as min-max, this is pretty much close to as fast you're getting in this game. It is definitely one of the fastest characters in the game, at least for this patch, while also having extremely high damage and at least good enough defense. As you saw from the Zeph clip, he died I think in like 1 second. So you have enough DPS for the hardest pinnacles in the game and the hardest juice maps, and you have insane moon speed and decent defense. It's not that insane. We have effectively 3k life, ghost stance to recover ES, and then our evasion is quite low, but we do get evasion from Tailwind, which is up a lot, and we also get evasion from the cat charm. So yeah, we have over 60% chance to evasion when this is activated, which is once again all the time during mapping. Now to quickly go over this helm. So at first I knew this helm for a while, I knew people were using it, but I wasn't interested in it for LA Deadeye because I thought giving up a massive ES helm would be a massive downside, and it is a massive downside. You lose quite a bit of ES. You lose over 1,000 ES and a ton of evasion by giving up your helmet slot. But as I found out, if you can just insta-kill everything on your screen, you don't really need that much defense. So what does this helmet do? So the important line is at the bottom right there, requires 5 fewer enemies to be surrounded. And when you check right here, hover over it, you are surrounded if there are at least 5 enemies within 3 meters of you. So if you need 5 fewer, you are always surrounded. You need 0 enemies. So what does this enable? So the first thing it enables is the movement speed. That is the main reason why I'm using it. 10% increased movement speed for a node is quite insane. This is up all the time because you're always surrounded. Besides that, you also get some insane damage nodes. 25% increased attack damage for a small passive is twice the value of a regular node, and this big node gives a 100% increase. Quite insane. And also same deal here, it gives some evasion, more attack damage, and 20% increased attack speed. Once again, this is permanently up. It also allows for the smoother pathing. If you didn't have this helmet, you can't really justify pathing over here and getting these move speed nodes because there's nothing else you're really picking up over here. But since you use this helmet, you can justify pathing over here and still have really, really good damage. Besides that, it also enables this pretty insane support gem. So it enables Defy 2. This gives you 2 important things. One, your attack skills are lucky. Lucky is very, very strong in this game. Essentially what Lucky does in this game, it makes your attack roll twice and it'll take the higher number out of those 2, usually averaging, depending on the build, anywhere from like 15 to 30% more damage. So it's quite a nice support gem. And the second part, insufficient mana doesn't prevent you from using supported skills. So as you can see here, even when I go to 0 mana, I can still cast all my skills. So yeah, you don't have to worry about mana issues, and it's also a pretty high damage support gem. Yeah, the helmet does enable quite a few things. The downside is it is a helmet slot, and helmet slot on this build is quite insane. But I'm using this because I want to go full move speed. I just don't want to be slow. Move speed at the end of the day is the only stat that matters in this game. Going as fast as possible is going to give you more currency, more maps per hour, all that, and there really isn't that many sources in the game. So you're kind of forced to travel around and take every single move speed node. And by taking this helmet, it allows you to get more move speed. Just keep in mind with this variant, you are quite squishy. Once again, I have not died in 11 hours I played today with this character, but it is still very possible. You can play this variant a pretty full move speed without the helmet. You would have to drop all these nodes. It's like negative 20% move speed, so it would be 150% instead of 170%. Still quite fast, but you would be roughly twice as tanky because you would have a full ES helmet, which is a ton of evasion combined with subterfuge mask. That's for other skills, which would be in the mobile guide as well. Held of Thunder with the Ailas. The Ailas is pretty very strong. The 10% quality here gives Held of Thunder a extra chain. So it goes from 2 to 3, and in total you get 7 chains. So pretty nice. Ghost Dance with a Uthrat's Omen, just gets some plus levels, not that important. You also don't need the Ailas Desire. It's strong, but it's also very expensive. So if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Just get another damage gem. Like Long Shot is pretty good here. Barrage, lower amount with Brutus Brain. I don't know if Brutus Brain actually works on Loyalty or Minion Mastery. And honestly, you don't need this whatsoever, but I'm just using it because, like, why not? A Tornado Shot, nothing really much to say here. I have Defy on it just to make it cost no mana. Conk Effect on Tornado Shot makes it land closer, so it's pretty nice quality of life for that. And then the last skill we have is Wind Dancer. If you don't have enough Spirit, Wind Dancer is the one thing you do drop. You need a 47 to 50 Spirit Amulet, so tier 1 Spirit roll. If you don't have that, you will have to drop Wind Dancer. One extra thing is also on our Lightning Rod. We have Rigwall's Ferocity, a new support gem. The second weapon set is the important thing here. You get 10% less attack speed, but 30% more damage. So the only thing you have to do here is make sure your Lightning Rod is set to weapon set 2. So you unclick weapon set 1, and just make sure it's clicked on weapon set 2. And that's mostly about it. You can put your bow in weapon slot 2, or a new feature this patch, you click this lock button. So if you right click this, it will lock your weapon. Also do your quiver as well, and now your weapon set 1 quiver and bow will also be used in weapon set 2. So yeah, that's all you have to do. Just make sure Lightning Rod is set to weapon set 2, and then lock it in your offhand, and it will just work. Every time you use Lightning Rod, it will attack with weapon set 2. You get 30% more damage. The less attack speed doesn't matter that much, because most of the time when you're using Lightning Rod is before the boss spawns. So you're just getting like 30% more damage as a support gem, which is very strong. Also, one more thing is Rakira's Flow. So Rakira's Flow treats enemies, monsters, resistance as inverted. I feel like there's been a lot of miscommunication or like misinfo on this support. As far as I'm aware, it does seem to work in resist maps. So it is very strong, but do keep in mind, most monsters do not have resist. It's pretty much just like resist maps, some map bosses and unique bosses like Arbiter and stuff. On bosses, like only pinnacle bosses, not for map bosses, I swap this with Lightning Rod with Lightning Pen. So I would do this swap on, for example, Zesh or Uber Arbiter, because on a boss, Lightning Rod is all your damage. Burner Map Clear, Lightning Arrow, and Held of Thunder is all your damage. You can also put this on Held of Thunder as well if you want. I haven't tried that yet, but it might be more effective as well. But anyway, a very powerful support gem, but also very expensive. The last thing here, I guess that is new, is the Nova Projectiles. So what does this do? It's a new support gem in this patch. You fire 4 additional projectiles. They fire in a circle, but you deal 40% less damage. So a pretty big hit to your DPS. But as you can see here, if I'm firing, it just hits my entire screen. It's really insane for clear. The downside is the negative damage. So only use the support gem if your character is GG and you can easily afford to have that 40% less damage, because you don't want to, like, be like 5 in the rares. Make sure you still have really good damage with the support gem on. If you can't use this, if it's like too much of a damage loss, you can just use Fork in here instead and still have really good clear. But yeah, Nova support is absolutely insane. I definitely do recommend it if your character can handle it. So yeah, I think that's about everything. I hope I covered everything in this guide. And once again, the mobile guide is also updated. I did update the earlier versions as well, so do check it out. But yeah, this character is absolutely insane. I'm definitely trying to push it as far as I can. The next upgrade is going to be a mirror bow, which, I do have the mirror for. Hopefully I get that tomorrow. But yeah, that's about it.